What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Sons of Cinema, where one of us has the face of radio and the other one has a voice for print. I'm DJ. Here's my hetero life mate, Rex. Big news for you
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
You see, Rex here is a huge fan of a film franchise called Tron. Or was the first one was just called Tron.
First it was Tron, then it was Tron,
and then Tron Legacy.
Yes.
All right. And now, recently, they've not only announced that they will be doing a third installment, which is rumored to be called Tron Ares. They have now tapped on Garth Davis to helm the project, as well as Jared Leto to star.
Yes. So,
Take the helms, please.
What was that?
They say you take the helms, my friend.
Oh, okay. Because, first when, you hear the rumors of Tron 3, I had very, very little hopes. I didn't think that this was, I didn't even think this was going to happen based on the box office success that Tron Legacy had. Because it had a $175 million budget and it made $400 million. But Disney was really hoping it was going to be a $1 billion success, and that just wasn't the case, especially when you come out with a franchise, a sequel to a movie, 30 years later. I mean, the first one was in the 1980s. The second one is in 2010. Like, there's no way that's going to happen. But then again, people said that about Joker, and we were all pleasantly surprised.
Very true, very true.
So with Jared Leto being attached to this, to me, it adds that little bit of a creative voice that a lot of people may have not liked him as the Joker in the Academy Award-winning Suicide Squad.
Hi, Gnome.
But, I certainly liked him in other movies, underrated movies, like Blade Runner 2049. He was phenomenal in that. I think that, again, another movie that had high hopes, but again, a little too late to catch on to the sequel. You can't be Blade Runner, and the first one's 1980, and the next one's 2000. It's like,
I kind of feel they're going for that trend, because you had the first Tron, which I believe was 1982.
Correcto.
Then you had the second one, which was in 2010.
Yes.
We are currently, as of this recording, in 2021.
Yeah, well, yeah.
So we are in 2020.
What? I forget what year.
I think production is going to start in 2021.
Yes, and allegedly it's supposed to come out in 2022. So
40 years after the first film.
Oh, man. But to me,
yes,
if, based on the article that we read, if it's possible that this may not be a movie straight, a movie. This may be a straight to Disney Plus exclusive.
And it's entirely possible.
That, like they were saying, it opens up a whole bunch of creativity. If it does, what this might happen? This might, and this is a very slight might, get me to crack open my wallet for Disney Plus.
Oh, wow.
The problem is, can they keep my wallet open? After that, I mean, if all you got is Tron 3, I mean, like,
I really hope so. Get you off mine.
Am I on your? See,
no, you're not. I tease. I only tease. Couple of things I found interesting about this project. One, again, it's expected to come out 40 years after the first film. When I looked at that, I was like, wait, hold on. Oh, wait, carry the two. What?
Let me put it this way. Harrison Ford was still young when Blade Runner came out, and if they're doing the same thing.
All right. So the first film starred Jeff Bridges. All right. And the dude Dubai.
Yes.
All right. And then you had the second one. I know Olivia Wilde was in the second one.
Yes.
I forgot who she co-starred along with, but I do know you had Jeff Bridges in there twice as himself, and then this is around the time when they were experimenting with the young man technology.
Yes.
And what I mean by young man technology, for those of you who watch The Irishman, or if you watched any of the Marvel Cinematic Universe movies, much like Captain Marvel or that particular scene in Captain America Civil War with young Robert Downey Jr., or from what I'm hearing about in Black Widow with the young Thaddeus Ross, they like to go and use this de-aging CG app.
At that point, I think it was an app. I don't even think it wasn't even a plugin in Adobe Premiere.
The one I think is an actual app was the one in Gemini Man.
Yeah.
Gemini Man starring Will Smith, and where she fights his younger version of himself, a cloned version. There are certain scenes where it looks all right, but towards the end, we're talking like PS2 graphics.
Yo, and it's like what's crazy.
I'm currently using the Reface app, and the stuff I've come up with looks better.
Yes, like how do you lose sync in the middle? Like it's like he's talking, but then like they couldn't have
like
enough.
This corner of the mouth is going this way, and this one's going this way. I was like, is it having a stroke?
Well, that's what this movie suffered from, Tron Legacy. So it was one of the first to be brave enough to try.
Yeah, well,
they failed.
In all fairness, because I'll be honest, I've seen Tron. Mm-hmm. I haven't watched Tron Legacy in its entirety. I've only seen bits and pieces.
Really?
I'm honest with you.
Wow.
Yeah, me, the movie guy, I haven't seen a movie in its entirety. Yeah, that's those scenes was like, but sometimes you have to be the one to fail in order for you to launch someone else up.
Yeah, but if you're gonna be the one to fail, you shouldn't expect your company shouldn't expect you to be $1 billion box office hit.
That's it. Yeah, that is also very true. Now, here from my understanding in this film, the Tron, franchise, the story is so rich.
Yes.
That they can essentially do a movie that doesn't necessarily need to involve the other two. It's kind of like the Star Wars lore.
Exactly.
You don't necessarily need to do a movie with the Skywalkers.
No, you don't. You don't.
All right, so therefore, you don't need Jeff Bridges in this one. A movie that's set to come out 40 years after the original.
When they did Rogue One, a Star Wars story, that actually did very well. It wasn't great.
Yes,
but it was pretty decent. Unlike Solo, a Star Wars horror.
But nothing will compare to The Mandalorian.
Oh, see, again, another...
I love The Mandalorian. That's one of the reasons why my tag is The Dandalorian with the 0.
Let's see if I figured out how to put the thing there for you now at that point.
So, yeah, there's entirely a possibility in which you can tackle a different story arc in this universe. All right, in which case it won't hinder the story you're trying to tell. You can go in, for an example, great example, Jumanji.
Yes.
When you got to Jumanji, Welcome to the Jungle.
Yes.
They didn't bound themselves to the story that was told with the original with Robin Williams.
Nope.
Instead, they told the story, which was actually a very good story, a very enjoyable story. And there was even a scene where they paid homage to Robin Williams' character.
Yep.
Or where he's in the treehouse and there's a sign, Alan Pierce was here.
Yep.
He's like, who's that? I don't know. That was here when I got here.
Yep.
All right.
To me, that was one of those, it was like a subtle nod.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, okay, we understand it's in the same universe.
Yes.
And we're not reliant on that previous story. If you want to go about it that way, by all means.
Exactly. All right. But what's also really catching my attention is the director they chose for this project, Garth Davis.
Yes.
He doesn't have a lot under his belt.
No, he does not.
The only thing, the biggest thing I see on his resume list is involving him. Most recently, that came out last year, was a film he did about Mary Magdalene, Jesus' mother.
Yes, and I think that was an indie movie, quite indie.
Yes. So for the fact if they are pitching him up to go and do this as either a direct to Disney Plus movie or maybe even a series.
Yes.
It's entirely possible, they may see something in this guy that might work in that setting. Or they're setting themselves up to fail. Again, I don't know this man's filmography that well to go and be like, oh, he's great, he's phenomenal, check this out, like I did with Taika Waititi. When they announced him to directing Thor Ragnarok, I was already looking forward to it because I've seen his other films like What We Do in the Shadows.
Yes.
Hi, Jen. Sorry, my friend Jen. I showed her the show. She was not a fan.
Really?
She didn't like the show.
How do you not like the show? Okay,
she does not like the show.
The show is hilarious. If you don't like it, maybe you're not human.
Oh,
I'm just saying.
And no, those are fighting words.
I'll be in Studio B all day.
I'll show you where he is, Jenny. Don't worry. Yeah, so it's not like in that situation, I really don't know too much about this director. So this could wind up being something really good that can help elevate him to a next level, or this could be that one blemish on his career. So the next thing he came out with, let's say if he comes out with a story about Abraham Lincoln or even George Washington for that matter, and it looks really good, but like, yeah, that's that guy that did Tron Tron Ares though.
Yeah.
Like we just did the Batman episode, and in that we just talked about how a lot of people were blemishing Ben Affleck because of Daredevil.
Yes.
People will do that.
Yeah.
All right. They'll always, no matter, how's the saying go? You can build, if you could build 100 bridges, but the moment you burn down one down, you're forever known as a bridge burner.
Yeah. It's one of those. All it takes is one mistake. Oh man. But I'm looking at his IMDb right now, and it's like, what do you have?
Nothing.
You've got you.
Let me rephrase. Nothing's too cruel. It's cruel to say. He has things on there, but nothing of notoriety.
Mostly, yeah, either indie or it's either indie or like biblical movies. So
yes.
That kind of scares me on.
It does kind of scare me too because I'm not a big biblical person. I'm not a very big religious person.
Yeah.
So and I've always never really been a big movie where you try to. So I'm a big fan of movies that try to hammer in political or political agendas or messages in them.
Yeah.
I'm like, listen, I can walk outside. There's real life.
Exactly.
Everywhere I turn, I walk to the newsstand. There's something about this and something about that. I go to my movies as an escape. I want an escape from reality.
I remember when I was in college, I had a professor, and this was for, I think, color theory.
Color theory?
Yeah. You never wanted to sit down through like a 12-hour lecture of color.
How does color theory work?
Oh, you literally don't.
Why is red bitchy 101?
Oh, there's a lot of science in the color. But one of the things he said is like when you go to see a movie theater, you pay your money, you pay that money for that ticket. You're paying for the escape. You're paying to put reality aside.
Yes.
And everything is just, suspend disbelief for those 2.5 hours.
Exactly.
And that's how I feel about movies. That's why I love movies. It's like I can watch a movie, turn my brain off, click, and
yeah, I can put a movie on like Blade Runner 2049 and take myself into the future, or I can put a movie on like Jojo Rabbit, go back into the past and watch them make fun of Hitler. Right. I can turn on a movie like Batman and get and immediately get sent back to my childhood angst and the excitement I got whenever I watched that film, or I can put on a movie of like Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind.
Ah, yes.
Right. And then
Jim Carrey.
Yeah, I feel it's a criminally underrated movie of his.
Mm-hmm.
All right, that meant I grew up with this comedy, all his comedies, but this was a movie that really showed me
he can act. Yeah,
he can act. Right,
before 23,
number 23.
Well, to me, I just call it 23.
23. Okay.
It seems redundant to call it number 23.
But I guess time will tell on this.
Yep.
When we get this project 40 years after the original, I still can't get over that number.
Yeah.
Is it?
We weren't even born yet, bro.
I remember the first time I saw Tron.
Yeah. Really?
Yeah. I walked into. I was with my mother. We went to her aunt's house, and they had a TV in the living room, and my cousin was sitting with her father, and it was on, and I was wondering, what the hell am I looking at?
On a crappy CRT movie, on a CRT screen. Yep.
Honest God, knowing them, I'm sure it was impossible, but knowing them, it was probably Laserdisc.
Oh, I hope not.
But
a medium I'm glad I never got to collect.
Certainly interesting. I will give them that. All right. Any other thoughts on this matter? You're the Tron expert on this one.
I fight for the user.
All right.
Never mind.
No. I'll try to be a fit off of that. What can I say that's profound? Well, that's our show, folks.
Very profound.
Very profound.
Very profound.
Honest to God, I was really toying in my head with the Beastie Boy line. I'm like, you've got to fight for your right if you want to party.
You could have just not did that.
I didn't.
I'm editing that out.
You can edit it out. I'm okay with you editing it out.
If I find a way to smoothly do it. Otherwise, it's going to be another awkward jump cut.
All right. Well, that's our show, folks. Do us a favor. So why don't you go into the comment section, give us your thoughts on the fact of Tron 3, Jared Leto joining, or even the director choice. All right, tell us what you think. Do you agree with us? Do you disagree with us? And if you disagree with us, tell us why in a nice, calm manner.
Gnome, we're looking at you. Jared Leto is actually a decent actor, despite what you may consider good acting, because you don't even know what acting is. Period. I've seen his taste in movies. The man saw what? I think he saw A Phantom Menace like 11 times in theaters.
I'm sorry, what?
Oh, you didn't know? So yeah. That's your boy.
No, it's family. We already had that conversation. He's family. He's upgraded to family. He's your boy, though.
I never met him before in my life.
He gets married. Guess which one of us he's choosing as the best man?
Speaking of which, I need to say
that is it. We call the Sons of Cinema, not the Sons of Matrimony.
You've been DJ.
All right, to all our brothers and sisters of cinema, I've been DJ. He's been Rex, and we are the Sons of Cinema.
Peace.